Howdy, y'all. Grab your snacks, strap in, and...
Cuando vuelva la luz, va a volver a explotar. Oye, justo hay una micro ahí, güey.
People can act.
Now, I know y'all seen that. Especially with the incidents in Hawaii, now Chile. And then somebody got that on camera. That to me did not look like CGI. Maybe it could have been, maybe not. And especially their reaction, but it does make you wonder, like, they were already recording prior to, so what were they recording, or why did they have the camera out already? But that looks pretty legit if you ask me.
Actually watch this footage and believe it's real.
Roger, main B undervolt. Stand by 13, we're looking at it.
So tell me,
It looked like they were hopping around like little bunnies or something, man. But yeah, it don't look legit.
everybody, why haven't we been back?
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
Now I want you to think about the absolute crazy amount of progression there has been in the last 50 years with technology. It's a painful process to build this again. Is that foil? Let's not forget the phone call transmitted from the moon.
So I want to add to that. That was how many decades ago that we went to the moon, and then we don't have the technology to do that anymore. And putting that aside, why would they destroy the technology? This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up.
To the president.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House. And there's certainly...
That's the most telling part to me, because you can't even put film through certain scanners at the airport without destroying it. But you could transmit all the way from the moon to the Earth through the Van Allen radiation belt. But I know people actually believe we didn't go to the moon.
All right, guys.
But did we? I, for one, I'm just, like I said, it's just, there's not enough evidence for me to say and stand on concrete. But like, yeah, we went to the moon. And with the things that I have seen, I lean more towards that we haven't been. Because I mean, the footage that shows that we supposedly went to the moon, or at the time that we supposedly went, just it does not look legit at all.
Creepy conspiracy stuff. Now what you're looking at is the baby, okay? And supposedly he's in a costume for a music video called The Boogeyman. But look at this, man. This just doesn't seem right. Who would do this? Why wouldn't he hire someone to get into a costume just to lip sync a song? They're literally laughing at us, bro. They are mocking us. They are literally showing us the truth in plain sight. And if you don't believe me, well, the truth does sound crazy in a world full of lies, so not...
That does look more like a reptile or lizard than, lizards are reptiles, but I wanted to use both, than it does a boogeyman. Whenever I think of the boogeyman, that's not what I see. That's not what I think of. And that is a good question. Why not have somebody else dressed up like that? Because I wouldn't know that was the baby, or I wouldn't know who it was in that costume.
Expert, but as a concerned citizen.
One of the 400,000 people who marched in the streets of New York on Sunday.
And the billions of others around the world who want to solve our climate crisis.
As an actor, I pretend for a living. I play fictitious characters, often solving fictitious problems.
I believe that mankind has looked at climate change in that same way, as if it were a fiction.
As if pretending that climate change wasn't real would somehow make it go away. But I think we all know better than that.
For anyone, if you didn't pick up, which for sure everybody did and knows, but that was AI voiceover. That wasn't, clips put together of those actors or influential people saying those lines. That was AI generating the voices for those people. So this is where I'm like, the whole thing with technology and the advancement and AI specifically is, to me, just it's getting way too advanced, and we should just, it just needs to stop. This is going to get out of hand, and it's going to end up, like I said, in other videos where once we pass a certain point, if we haven't already, is no return. There's no getting out of that, no going back. So just let me know what y'all think about that down below.
Have you ever heard the creepiest conspiracy theory that a lot of celebrities have been on this planet for a lot longer than you think and have lived multiple lives? The theory goes that people in the past who garnered enough money, fame, or status were given the opportunity to be inducted into the Illuminati or the New World Order and have their DNA and memory extracted before they died and then saved so they can make clones of them and live over and over again. Others say vampires or time travelers, but the most popular theory is the multiple lives theory. Now let's take a look at some examples. First is Mark Zuckerberg, who looks like the old king of Spain and Portugal, who would definitely have the means to clone himself. Jennifer Lawrence looks like old Egyptian actress who bided their watch. Jimmy Fallon looks like an old Marxist revolutionary leader. Michael Jackson has apparently already lived multiple lives, including a royal in Egypt. Jay-Z.
Now I know it could be said that, like, you know, there's doppelgangers or lookalikes for almost anybody out there in the world, but seeing that one of Michael Jackson having multiple instances and photos where it did look like him, and that one especially right there, Eddie Murphy, that's pretty spot on. Makes you wonder.
What gives me chills, Eddie Murphy. And apparently each time they come back, they're smarter, better, know the secrets to success, and can easily choose which life they want to live this time. Before I show the most shocking one, make sure you follow so you finally know what these other crazy celebrity conspiracy theories are and request which one you want to see next. The most thing that's been debated by the public for years is Keanu Reeves. People say he's immortal, but the multiple lives theory works here as well.
He could be like the real life Dorian Gray, you know, will stay immortal and book himself until he sees his own reflection. Who knows?
As he's already lived as Charlemagne, a famous painter and a famous actor. When asked about it, he didn't deny it, he laughed it off, but the crowd was scared.
The Earth, since you've just been around, there's just different generations. I just wanted to show you, just
We're
in case.
all stardust, baby.
I know.
I can see it. We have a likeness in the eyes,
Yeah.
and the nose, and the mustache, and the beard, and the cheekbones, and the forehead.
But that's the real.
Oh.
2024.
I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of Keanu Reeves as an actor, but more so as a person with the things that I've heard about what he does, you know, for the people he works with, whether they be on screen or off screen, and just the type of things that he tries doing that isn't necessarily in the spotlight and that you wouldn't see in movies. So I mean, hey, if he has somehow been able to keep himself alive for so long and gain mortality in a certain way, I guess it's for the good. At least it's him and not some others, but I don't know. And with if it was cloning or making a copy of themselves, is it really them living on, or is it just like a copy of their subconscious, but it's not like really them, but a copy of them? Think about it.
Just got even crazier. Yeah, 2024 is going to be the worst year ever for a number of different reasons. Now, according to a time traveler from the future, these are events which are going to take place in the next 12 months. Now, the thing that's a bit scary about this is that there's been other predictions. The Simpsons, Baba Vanga, who are much more trusted sources, who have some of the same predictions as well. But some of them are absolute bollocks. Apparently, in early April, some seas will actually turn black and a mysterious sea creature will show up on the shores. No, right, it won't. Apparently, in May, the second US civil...
I mean, we are coming in on April. We're in late March right now. So I guess we'll see if the seas are going to turn black and if we're going to see an unknown sea creature.
Will actually begin as Texas separates from the country, with other states soon following, leading to an all-out war with other countries getting involved as well on mainland American soil. August, there'll be some mysterious discoveries found in the rainforest. Hundreds of new species, and that is actually crazy because we have been finding a lot of species recently under the ice, under the rainforest, including 6-foot-tall butterflies and giant spiders. What is this video? Oh my days.
Now, I'm going to say, I do not wish, nor do I want a civil war to happen, But with the way the times are and everything in the world, I can see that being very possible, which is why anybody that I know personally or try talking to is just I always try to promote and push out there just to everybody get along. It does not matter what you look like. It does not matter what a person, how you perceive them, get to know everybody. It should be about who a person is and how they are. And realizing that the people that is portrayed to be a bad person in media is being pushed that way for a reason by the powers that be. So we could all end up just making sure that nothing that they would want to happen would end up coming true if we were just to all collectively get along, come together, and realize that every normal day citizen that we encounter are not our enemies, but more so we should all be allies and end up working together, not against one another. Just my 2 cents. And then the whole thing about the species, that to me is, it's not accidental. A lot of these species or animals, insects, whatever have you that they're discovering, it's them out there discovering it and going out there and messing with elements that they should just leave alone. If things are extinct, they're extinct for a reason. But they want to poke and prod, mess around, just like with AI. You mess around and try to bring back certain species that is extinct. Hey, it's extinct for a reason.
Now this is interesting. Apparently on October 25th, 2024, a very famous musician will come back into the light and announce that he had faked his death. So let me know in the comments who you think that could be. And finally, a huge solar storm to hit Earth. Now this is crazy.
Y'all let me know down below who y'all think it's going to be. I'll probably say who I think it is, maybe in a later video if I don't say it in this one. But y'all let me know in the comments down below who y'all think that it could be, if it even actually happens.
Because The Simpsons predicted this, Baba Vanga predicted this, and a huge gaping hole opened on the sun at the end of last year, which was literally firing out solar storms towards Earth. So it's very possible. There's also been blackouts in the US, mobile phone signals going down across the globe. There was one night where it all went crazy in America and people thought it could have been a mini solar storm. So yeah, that one could be pretty likely. But yeah, as always, hit that follow button and I'll see you in the next one.
And if people don't think that that was like a controlled event, why was it that it was, and especially if it was a supposed solar storm, why was it just the US and there were specific parts of the US, not US as a whole, but certain parts spread out in the US for why it happened? So I, for one, my opinion, take it for what it is, as a grain of salt. I do not believe that it was a solar flare or a solar storm or anything natural. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. But yeah, I think people are too reliant on technology, too reliant on social media, and if something like this was to happen back in the early 1900s to mid and even close to the end of the 1900s, and even shoot, like toward the beginning of 2000s, like people were, yes, relying on technology, but it was nothing like it is now in the 2010s and 2020s. It's just ridiculous. It's just like people just got, I don't think it would be as much of an impact if people were able to get away from technology and not be like, oh, screen face, you know what I'm saying, like 24/7. And then it's like for the people that's the biggest thing that would come out of the solar storm or an EMP, whatever have you, if we were to lose all technology, is because people freaking out, not being able to use their phones, and because they don't know anything else or any other tool to use outside of that phone. And I don't even want to call a phone a tool, but that's the best comparison to end up painting a picture of it. It's just people are too reliant on technology. That's just my opinion. Maybe a popular or unpopular one. Let me know what y'all think down below.
His conspiracy theories, are these cap or fact? You may never know. Sources say Keanu Reeves may just be immortal. And based on overwhelming evidence, this is most likely true. Is Steve Jobs really dead? Or somewhere in Egypt wearing hospital scrubs? It's up for you to decide. Rumor has
that did look like him from the side though.
Katy Perry is actually John Benet Ramsey, all grown up. Doesn't seem too far-fetched to me. Was Ted Cruz the Zodiac Killer? Probably. The Ray J. Kardashian sex tape vaulted Kim to fame. Was the leak orchestrated by Grand Hollywood puppet master Kris Jenner? Yes. Are Beyonce and Solange really sisters? Or is Beyonce really her mother? Hard to argue that one.
What's one?
That gives you a lot to think about, and that's a lot to unpack there. Well, it's a little bit to unpack. I mean, you can't really say for certain that what he's saying is fact. I mean, it seemed like a lot of it was just maybe his opinion. He didn't really provide any evidence to say otherwise. And maybe some of it's true, but we don't know. And if y'all think otherwise and have a differing opinion, let me know.
Conspiracy theory that you believe in.
Birds ain't real. It's the cameras in them birds.
Everybody put their tinfoil hats on. Yeah. All right, let's hear it.
Y'all don't see a big flock of birds no more. It ain't no, y'all don't be seeing like 10 birds flying together no more like that. Y'all see 1 or 2 birds.
In them cameras?
I'm telling you.
What do you think they're using those cameras for?
They watching us.
You work a 9-to-5 job?
Yeah. Yeah, I work a 9 to 5.
I'm saying you get your social security number to a company and they got your schedule. So right then and there, they know where you at 8 hours a day. And you gave them that information. They don't need no fucking bird. They already know where you at, nigga. Nigga work at 9 to 5 and you go to the same gym every day. Like, nigga, just check the gym cameras. This nigga in here hooping again. Getting his ass bust. Nigga refused to get back on defense. Like, your FBI agent like, damn, this nigga ain't got no transition defense. Nigga just run to the paint talking about switch.
What is happening?
I can't remember how many years ago or what year it was when the whole thing about birds are fake or the birds are electronic movement came about, and all in all it ended up coming out that the guys who started it was just as a facade or, you know, a satire. But I do remember it starting a big movement, a lot of people like believing in that. And I know we've touched on it a little bit here, especially whenever it comes to birds landing on wires. And I don't ever see anything aside from like crows or smaller bird that I see on power lines. I don't ever see anything like an eagle, falcon, a raven, you know, even though ravens are huge birds. But anything of a bigger bird on power lines. So I'm not saying that I think that it's true, but it does raise the question. And then, you know, I think it depends on where you're at. If you see a huge flock of birds, migration patterns, the area that you're in and what kind of birds that there are, you know, I think that plays a role in it. But for what that guy, how it sounded, you know, he's used to, or was used to seeing flocks of birds. And then, hey, maybe he's just not really, maybe move somewhere where there's not, you know, that kind of behavior. I don't know. But y'all think birds are real or you think they're fake? You think they end up hanging on the power lines to charge up the batteries?
Beneath Antarctica. In 1985, a naval engineer stationed at McMurdo Station in Antarctica made a terrifying discovery. While transporting supplies and crew members to sites around Antarctica, he and his crew reported seeing circular aircraft flying above an area known as the Beardmore Glacier. However, they were never allowed to investigate further as the area was designated as an air exclusion zone. At one point, they received an emergency call to rescue an injured crew member who had gone on an expedition. The captain knew they wouldn't make it in time using conventional flight routes, so he decided to fly through the Beardmore Glacier to reach the injured individual. However, upon entering the air exclusion zone, they witnessed a giant hole the size of a football field leading beneath the ice. Eventually, they successfully rescued the injured crew member, but upon returning to McMurdo Station, they were greeted by a man in black who told them, "What you saw at the pole, you did not see. If you speak of it, you will have serious problems."
Think you are
See, I think there's so much that could be going on in Antarctica and around. I mean, I'm not going to say that every single story that comes out of things that happen in Antarctica are true. But, I mean, after so many times, it's got to be at least maybe a handful of stories and instances that are true. Just think about it. I mean, there's many situations where people are told, oh, you can't come over here. You can't come past this point. You can't fly over this area. I don't know. This is strange.
They live multiple lives and get to choose what life they wanted to do. Don't get me wrong, genetics do pass on, but they literally look the same.
Dudes that look like you. Okay. So they just think that you've been on the earth since you've just been around, there's just different generations. I just wanted to show you just
We're all stardust, baby.
I know, that's you know. What is my name, man? Look at this.
Okay, so what do we got?
What do you think?
What is this to the beard and the cheekbones? And the forehead. Look at that.
It was like Dorian Gray there. I never really touched on this. And didn't know this part of the clip was going to be reshown again, even though this is like a completely different clip entirely.
That's a French actor called Monet.
Yeah, we have the same foreheadish eyebrow, I think.
But that's the real.
Oh.
No, I kind of see a little bit of it.
That one, I see some characteristics that are physical characteristics that are similar, but I don't really per se, when I think of Keanu Reeves, I don't really see it all that much in that one.
Boeing whistleblower was found dead in his truck just days after testifying against the aviation company. 62-year-old John Barnett was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound in the parking lot of a hotel in Charleston, South Carolina. Barnett had raised concerns about the production standards and faulty oxygen systems, particularly in Boeing's 737 and 787 Dreamliner planes, and was in town to discuss his whistleblower retaliation suit with Boeing attorneys.
I'd raise my hand and say, hey, we got a problem here. They would attack the messenger and ignore the message.
Ryan Garcia just blew.
Why is it that it's like, and there's been other stuff that I've seen about that specific individual where he had even said that if something happens to him, he didn't do it to himself. So that right there, just in other instances where people have been taken out and they made it apparent before they were to be around no more that if something was to happen, it wasn't done by themselves or by, you know, anything that had to do with the decision they made. It was, I'm trying to be careful here, but it's always happens whenever somebody's trying to blow the lid off or something. And like I said, I don't believe that what they're saying happened. Y'all can do your own research, look into it yourselves. It's just my opinion. Take everything that I say as a grain of salt.
Lit off to the whole world that the most powerful people out there worship the devil. On March 3rd, a nasty rumor hit social media claiming the young boxer Ryan Garcia was dead. But the very next day, he dropped a video.
I didn't hear that part about the rumor. Everything with the whole Ryan Garcia situation has been taking place. That I did not know or hear about a rumor about him not being around.
On his Twitter, calming his family and fans by calling out the rumor as fake. But he also spilled some seriously shocking news. He says a bunch of really powerful folks are trying to lock him up to keep him quiet because he knows too much. He's going to let out later that the global industry of human trafficking, including the sale of kids who are sold to have terrible things done to them, is pegged at around $150 billion a year. He also says that every year, about 1.2 million kids just vanish because of these people. But you're probably wondering, who is Ryan Garcia talking about in his videos? He's talking about the world's elite, those who secretly manipulate the masses. The worst part is, you've seen these people before. They're singers, actors, politicians, pretty much all the ultra-rich of the world. Ryan Garcia is trying to spill the truth to the public, but weirdly, right after dropping these bombshells, he ends up in the hospital. It's like they tried to silence him for good. So, what's your take? Who's secretly pulling the strings in this world? Hurry up and check out Ryan Garcia's Twitter if you want to catch the whole truth before it gets wiped.
We take that same.
Let me know what y'all think of the whole Ryan Garcia situation. I know it's been going on for a little bit now, and this might be the first time, if not the second time, I'm kind of touching on it. But my thing is, it's just like people are so quick, especially the media, to label a celebrity or a person of influential status as crazy, off their rocker, or something's got to be wrong with them when they are exposing the truth. And those are the ones that I feel like should be paid attention to more whenever they are trying to say, like, think about Dave Chappelle. Oh, he was using this, he was using that. And that wasn't the case. You know, it's just one example of this. But let me know what y'all think about the situation.
Chemical weapon that's an acute toxic, flammable environmental hazard, and we ship it to compound pharmacies that put it in supplements and protein powders and energy drinks that you drink. Right, you ever heard of a Celsius energy drink? Celsius energy drink has 4 times the amount of daily cyanide that a human being's meant to ingest. 4 times, that's just one sample. So drink Monster or Bang. I mean, drink Bang, not Monster or Celsius, right? Bang has methylcobalamin, this has cyanocobalamin. So, and we wonder what, you know, we're putting these toxic chemicals. He says, you know where we get the hydrogen cyanide? Don't make me take you to that website, because you'll just get up and leave. I wonder, do you know where we would get hydrogen cyanide? Because these facilities that actually compound this P12, they don't even pay for the hydrogen cyanide. You know where they get it? Human sewage treatment plants.
Now, if there's anybody out there that drinks energy drinks of any brand, I wouldn't be surprised if you're thinking about not consuming any after seeing this, because that's really alarming. Not completely surprising, but the fact of not only the cyanide, but about compounding their own vitamin B12 from a human waste facility. Just let that sink in. So next time you think about drinking a energy drink, especially a big name energy drink company, just think you might be, that hole that you open up the can to might as well be the booty hole of somebody else. Because I mean, they got it from a human waste facility.
It is the waste from a human sewage treatment plant. It's called sludge. It's foamy yellow sludge. They scrape it off the top, they dry it, turn it into a powder, ship it to a facility, synthesize it with a metal, and put it in your vitamins. They take metal, hydrogen cyanide, and put it in our supplements. So that's exactly, so when you get home tonight, I want you to take all of your supplements and protein powders, spin them around, look for that word cyanocobalamin, and if it has it, throw it in the trash. Right, and do that for your kids too.
I hope that y'all all take that advice and go look for that cyanocobalamin. And also, when it comes to foods, candies, whatever that is consumable, look for the red dyes, the yellow dyes. Try to stay away from what you can. It's artificial. I know it's hard, especially if you live in the U.S., to stay away from GMO products, any kind of modified product, you know, because it's everywhere, almost everywhere you look. It's almost like you gotta have your own garden, your own farm, to try to be the best option to stay away from that type of food. But at any rate, take the advice. I hope that y'all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like, comment down below. Let me know what you think, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell. I appreciate it. Be safe. Y'all have a good one.